I gotta like go from the back with headphones.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this.
All right.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Wendy.
And welcome to the Toasted Marshmallow Adventures podcast.
Woo!
Tonight in studio.
Finally.
Yes.
After
it's been a long time.
many months of us wanting him.
Yeah.
Going
back and forth.
What's up?
We got comedian LJ Sullivan tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
That's me. I'm
Thank
glad to
you.
be here. This is dope. This is a nice little setup you got here.
Oh, thank
with
you.
the blue lights.
Trippy.
Yeah. I dig it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, we've taken kind of a long time to get it just kind of.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit!
No.
You were supposed to have mute on. Remember how you were supposed
Mute's
to have the
over
mute
there.
on?
This one wasn't muted. This is what happened.
That was weird.
Yeah. So you had a little echo there.
Yeah, for sure. No, that always fucked me up when I was starting my podcast too. Was figuring that out.
Yeah, it's a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're all just self-taught. You know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to a podcast. That's also why mine hasn't had any recent episodes in a while. It's like my New Year's resolution is to get back on that shit.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
yeah, create a little more of a studio space for myself.
Yeah. You
don't
deserve
just
it.
do it in my kitchen, which is what I've been
Is that what
doing.
you've been doing?
Yeah, which I kind of like on the one hand because it gives it this like wild manic energy of I'm just plugging into the system and yelling into the void, you know.
Yeah.
But, I think I was like all jazzed up on that back when did y'all watch the animated series on Netflix by Duncan Trussell? Yeah,
we started
what is it called? What was
That
that
trippy
shit called?
one?
Yeah.
It was about magic or mushrooms.
It's
or
what it
acid
is it's Duncan Trussell's podcast, but then they take like the info from the podcast and the interview of the podcast and they make that a part of the episode.
Oh, I don't think
and they animate around it.
I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, we need
yeah, I don't
to.
think
I love Duncan Trussell.
How am I forgetting the name of this fucking cartoon right now? I don't know, but it's fucking really good, and it's literally about this guy who's like traveling the multiverse to do a podcast because that's how they get all of his old podcast interviews in there is like the little animated dude is going out and interviewing other animated people, but it's really based on real life conversations he's had.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking dope. The Midnight Gospel.
Oh, okay.
See,
No.
I knew if I
Okay.
So
kept talking
this is
about
his
it.
podcast?
No, his podcast is the Duncan Trussell Family Hour, I think is what it's called. But so they took interviews and audio from that, and Netflix got him an animation team and stuff, and they
cool.
animated around it and create like its own storyline that's fueled by his podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Midnight Gospel. Highly recommend.
Gospel.
Is it Duncan Trussell that to me sounds exactly like Steve-O or one of those
I
guys?
think
He
may
does have that
said
unique,
before,
like, high pitch
And
cadence.
I like really almost pride myself on being able to recognize people's voices.
It's that sort of really stonery, like, hey, man!
Yes! They both have the same thing, and I'm like, I can't tell if it's Steve-O or Duncan Trussell, honestly. I can based on what they're talking about.
Steve-O's a little more gravelly.
Oh,
I think,
okay.
if you're looking for a way to... I have aspirations to do voice acting, so like I'm
you have
really
an awesome
into
voice
people's
for
voice. Thank you. I've always heard that, and that's part of the
Yeah.
reason that I'm like I gotta
You
figure
have
out how
a
to do
very
that. So.
distinct, like a Mark Normandy voice. Like it's
Oh,
so
snap.
different.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like we could never do that.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I have a weird,
It's a-
register and cadence
it's a
combo. It's like
bassy-
you don't normally hear them together.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Anyway,
So what do you? How do you get into that?
I have no fucking clue. I'm hoping the podcast will help because one of the things that I remember when I looked into like voice acting, they want to like have a lot of audio to hear from you. So like I have this back catalog now.
Oh,
right?
good.
And also, I think one of the requirements is they want to know that you could like read for a really long time. And I don't know exactly how to like convey that via podcast, but like that's part of the job is you're reading lines over and over and over again for like hours and hours. But also I feel like just I'm hoping like being a comedian, like I love stand-up comedy and being a comedian, but I also know that like historically stand-up comedians have gotten to do a lot of really cool shit. Like writing and voice acting and like sketch and improv and shit, and like all things I'd like to dip my toe into. Acting. All things I'd like to dip my toe into, but like stand-up comedy is always the number one goal.
Right.
But so I'm just hoping that sort of like historic record of like comedians are usually good voice actors and actors, like let's give them a shot.
I think you should submit yourself places with
we'll
that
see.
voice.
We'll see.
Think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know how you would even go about doing it other than like this to like say on a podcast somewhere like this is the thing I want to do, and then you know
like listen to how cool his voice is based on ours. Say something.
Oh, I think we all have pretty nice.
No,
like,
but yours has that thing to it. A little zhuzh.
A little zhuzh.
It has some
zhuzh. I got people telling me that I should do like radio in the past.
Oh wow,
yeah. So you know, it's definitely
voice acting would be fun.
Definitely a thing. I got a lot of aspirations, a lot of things I'd like
reading?
To do.
Can you read?
Yeah, I can read.
Like fast?
I was saying earlier, like I would prefer it if I read more. I would like to read more
You'd like
books.
to be that person.
Yeah.
I would do that,
you
honestly.
know, so.
Yeah, because I always like when people are like, I read this, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I wish I was like, I want to be that person.
I get the cliff notes.
Or audiobooks. Maybe I need to get into audiobooks. Maybe that could be the move. That's also what I remember part of like voice acting being like, because they always need people to record for audiobooks.
Yes.
So if you did that, and that goes with the reading thing, right? Like if you do that, then you're more likely to get noticed by like the people who are out there looking for voice actors. That's one of the places that they look, I guess.
Yeah.
Like books on tape folk.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be awesome for you to read a book. But like do you have to like start over when you flub up probably? It would take me like
I think you would probably just have to mark it in the audio and then exactly, and then edit it. Like, yeah.
Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Probably pays well.
For sure, yeah. I saw y'all recreated Bert Kreischer's video.
Oh yeah. We're trying to get him on the podcast.
I think that's a fucking great idea. I've been telling comics like if a comic you like comes into town, you gotta hit them up on Twitter. You gotta get them to like come and just hang out, so that people know about the Boise comedy scene. You know, so
we have only begun.
I
we
know.
Are going to hit up. We're going to annoy. I'm about to send emails to Leanne
and his producer.
Yeah,
who I think is Leanne.
And she says she reads every email, so I'm like, I'm sending that video.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I feel like nobody else did it. I did it
Probably
like 2 years ago.
And we never did anything with the video at the time.
What's so fucking funny about that is we actually have tear off pants.
We actually
bought them breakaways. Yeah, we bought them at a thrift store at
Savers or something.
Oh my god!
But I was just testing that theory.
Yeah.
Like, can I get the count on that song? How Bert did it is crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the count. So it was
because
really
he
hard.
had a professional choreographer come in for that video, which is insanity.
Spend money.
The real like of gold at the end of the rainbow, I think, for you guys, though, is Tom and Christina, right? It's gotta be, right? Come on.
Probably.
It can't not be. That would be too much fun for everyone involved.
I know.
Except for we're not into farting around each other or burping. Like, we don't do that at all. Like,
That still would be a great.
It would.
Yeah, no,
Podcast,
that alone
Just
could
because,
be.
yeah.
Y'all would get 45 minutes out of that right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's true.
no, that's
funny.
fucking cool.
It'll
I love
happen
it.
one day.
I believe that it will. That's why I said it.
awesome.
Like, it's around the corner.
Several people have been like, you look exactly like Tom Segura.
Yeah.
It's
I do.
uncanny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's almost uncomfortable. Is what it is.
Yeah, I'm really him.
This is his secret second life, surprisingly similar to his super popular first life, but that's how you get in under the
Without the money.
without the money. Yeah.
Money.
I don't know. Y'all are in the nice part of Nampa.
Okay,
Yeah.
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 That was just dumb luck.
Really?
Yeah, it really was.
Well, at the time, you just wanted to buy
wanted
a
to be-
place close to where you worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the studio.
But
He and I met doing we were body combat instructors. I was actually
Okay.
his.
you were in my class,
Yeah.
a participant.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I was in much better shape then.
He is football for it.
Yes.
And so,
understand.
yeah, that's how we met. And then you became an instructor, and
Yeah.
we like taught together for years.
That's
classes
fucking
all the
cool.
time. Yeah.
Nice.
The no bar body combat, but now podcasting.
Yeah. So,
Hey, podcasting's cool as shit.
yeah, I actually like this better. Well, really loved that as well.
But it was
So,
all sweaty and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
your
sweaty
muscles
and
hurt.
Yeah, for
out
sure.
of breath and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
kind of exercise and shit.
So your podcast,
Yes.
are you going to pick it back up?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I have plans for it, and like the goal is to hopefully get an old episode that didn't get aired out like next week.
Oh, cool.
And then hopefully like record a new episode as well and get back on it and stuff.
Do you
So
have guests or it's just you?
I'm definitely gonna try and get more guests.
Yeah.
I like the
Into
idea.
the kitchen.
The idea would actually be to set up like a corner in my room that feels professional
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Like, so that's another part of the whole thing is like reorganizing my living space to make that like an inviting place for guests, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Get one of those beds that folds into the wall.
right, or one of those ones that like becomes a couch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then you just pull it out, and then it's a bed,
Heck
and then it's
yeah.
a couch.
I think that's a futon.
Yes, yeah, futon. Yes, that. Get one of those, and then just have like a nice desk or whatever, and have the whole podcast set up, something like that.
Simple is actually a thing. I mean, we went the Bobby Lee route, which is shit everywhere. But like, super simple is like 2 chairs and a desk is actually a thing.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. And so I probably somewhere in between there because I have shit all up on my walls
okay.
in my
Yeah.
room, and I have a big ass bookcase
Oh,
for all
that
the
could be
books
cool.
that I want to read,
Right,
but
right,
don't.
right. Yeah, exactly. These are cool
Yeah.
looking
So
books.
they might as well be in the background of like any videos that I make, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is I'd like to get video for my podcast.
Yeah.
Because right now it is just audio, but
Yeah.
part of like I think people really do enjoy the visual component.
Yeah.
I know me as a viewer, like I definitely watched and listened to Rogan more with the visual component on
Yes.
YouTube. You can watch it on Spotify,
Yeah.
but it's just I'm not on Spotify watching other
Exactly.
things.
Exactly.
I have to go there
Yeah.
just to watch this one thing.
Yes.
So then I'm more prone to just listen to it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
I recently started following Sarah Silverman's podcast, which is only on YouTube. So another like sort of example, and I think fucking Tom and Christina do way better numbers on YouTube than anywhere
They're
else.
crazy.
So it's the visual component, but that's a whole other type of editing.
Yes.
It
And
is,
like
yes.
I don't know. Like I really need like a fucking a man in the chair, you know what I'm saying? A guy to do
need
that.
a
Jamie or a red band.
Yeah, red band. Oh
exactly.
my God, yeah.
So it's just,
it's a lot.
It's a struggle.
And we have two of us, so like
Right.
we can each put out stories. We can each, but still we're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah,
And with all the
social media
editing
is a whole other thing
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not good at that shit
It's-
at all.
We've done more of it than we've ever
Ever
had
thought.
in our lives.
Yeah.
And so it's a
About
daily
things we never
thing.
thought we would share.
Daily
Yeah.
thing.
Here's my
Like
dog.
your whole life becomes content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Social media,
yeah.
yeah.
Here's some content for
We have to
it.
actually
Yeah.
take breaks. Like, okay, nobody
I think
gives a
that's
shit.
part of why I also I got a little burnout on the podcast, because a big thing
Yeah.
that I was doing was like watching and reviewing all of the things that I normally watch and have thoughts about, but then it's like the thing that you love is no longer just the thing that you love.
Exactly.
You're
you
fucking
wrecked it.
reporting on it. Like
Yeah.
you're like, and it's a whole other level, you know? Like, so it was nice to sort of step back and take a break and just
good.
live life
Yeah.
rather. Like, it was getting to a point where I felt like it was just sort of like a daily diary thing. It wasn't daily, but like it just had
Yeah,
a very
it is. It gets to that.
diary-esque feel,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't want that.
Here I am.
Yeah,
Here it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So I don't know. We'll figure it out, but
Everybody says it's what you have to do. So we have like
Yeah.
moments where we're
and
like,
that's-
fuck this, we cannot.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, we're like, okay, we're filming this, right?
Yeah,
You know?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody says like this is the way to do it, but then I feel like every new success story you hear is different.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the environment is so new and so vast and so diverse that it's like, I don't know, just do whatever it is you're gonna
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Well,
Hope
like
that works
COVID
out.
switched all that
Yeah.
up too as
Yeah,
well.
for
yeah.
sure,
And,
for sure,
you
for
know.
sure. Which, yeah, I could tell you guys about my whole fucking
Tell
COVID
us
story.
about
Oh
that.
yeah, let's
Because
hear
That was
about
recent.
it.
this,
I
yeah,
hear it. It's
and
crazy.
it was like the beginning of this month, yeah. And so the last like 2 months, I kept getting sick and getting tested and it not being COVID, and so that then put me in this like sort of like, if you're a public safety individual, a dangerous situation, because I kept putting off the booster because I was like, I don't want the effects of the booster to compound with like this persistent cold that keeps like hitting me, you know?
Yeah.
Coming and going. And so then it finally got to the point where I was like, all right, I felt good for at least like a few days. Let's get a day off from work and just go and do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get a Friday off from work to go and get boosted. I go, I get the shit done, and then I like go home and I get ready for the worst, you know? I had been drinking a little bit the night before, and I heard that could really sort of fuck you up. And so I was like, okay, just get ready. And Saturday
So
and
what did
Sunday
that
really
entail?
sucked.
What did you getting ready entail?
Getting ready entail, it just meant
like bracing yourself.
it just meant like getting in bed with like Gatorade next to me and marijuana is what it
Like,
really.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm bracing
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
ready
it.
For
yeah.
COVID.
Yeah,
Bring it
exactly.
on.
Bring it.
And so
Omicron.
then I wake up on Saturday and I had a slight fever, but I was like, don't worry about it. that's the vaccine. Pop some ibuprofen. But then a little bit later, I get, that same day, Saturday, I get a text message from a comedian. I don't want to name names because then it's like, this person's giving people COVID.
Yeah.
No, it's just,
That's how it
that
rolls.
shit happens, you know? And so they're like, hey, I tested positive, and they were at the open mic on Thursday, the night before I went to go get boosted. And so I was like, God damn it. If this ends up being like full... like, that's so disheartening because then it's like you got boosted for no reason. You put yourself through this bullshit for no fucking good reason.
Oh my God.
And so then on Monday, I still had some symptoms, and symptoms from the vaccine's only supposed to last like a couple days. So I was like, God damn it. Went to go get tested. I'm not sure if y'all have seen the news lately. That shit is crazy. Nobody can get a test for shit. I sat and waited for like... I can't remember if it was 2 or 4 hours.
Oh
something between 2 and 4 hours. And, like, it was just crazy. I think it was, like, 3 hours. I think it was literally 3 hours because, I remember, like, if it was 4, I would have said, fuck this. They got me in this real sweet spot where I was like, well, that's like... I could just watch some shit on my phone and that'll go by pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, so I got tested, and then I didn't know until like a couple days later. In the past, when I got tested, when I kept getting cold and stuff, you would know like the next day or same day. Sometimes,
wow.
But it's clearly like slowed down because so many people are getting tested, and so then I get the positive result like the day I'm supposed to go into work. Oh, and I'm like, you guys, I just tested positive. And they're like, after you got boosted? Yeah. I'm like, someone exposed me literally like less than 24 hours before I got boosted. Yeah. And so it was just this weird, like, trying to track, like, when those symptoms were like COVID symptoms, and then like waiting the like prescribed amount of days, and then like,
what is it now? 5?
Now it's like 5, and then if your symptoms are getting better, you're supposed to go and get tested, and then like another 5. And it's but if like your symptoms don't get better, it's like more than that. It's really confusing to read. They need to do a better job because I read that shit like 7 times and I'm still not sure if I did everything right. But at this point, at this point, it's been over 5 days with me, no symptoms.
Right.
And so as I read everything, it sounded like that's like their safe zone. Like you want to have like an extended amount of time with like no symptoms, and then you should be okay.
And what about your booster? Is that valid?
So I was reading an article that apparently like all like what I got from this article is like natural immunity is the like least effective over time. Initially I think it's the best, but then over time it's the least effective. And then like one vaccination is like 6 months, but then it also has like a similar drop off. And then 2 vaccinations is like the longest period of protection, right? But then also what this article was looking into is people who had natural immunity and the vaccine. And it was saying that that's like actually the best in terms of like over time, your immunity is to...
And so the booster doesn't play a part, or?
No, it's basically the article is saying like even if you've gotten COVID, it would still increase your immunity a significant amount to get the booster.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
they were essentially just confirming that like your immunity stacks.
I gotcha.
Like,
I gotcha.
like
Yeah.
if it was a
Yeah,
video
so-
game,
yeah,
like,
like more
you
power.
can keep adding
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have like a drop off.
Okay,
Like you
cool.
can keep building
And that's
more
what the
and
booster
more
does.
immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
even
like
if you
so.
got COVID,
So if
right?
you've had it, it still makes sense for you to get vaccinated because then that's like 16
Yeah.
times more
Yeah.
immunity
And so
on
ju-
top of your established natural immunity. Like it just
Yeah.
makes you more and more safe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And so the fact that you got it immediately prior to getting the booster has no.
if anything, it
Relevance.
probably made my symptoms like more mild.
Oh,
As
cool.
far as I
Wow.
could tell when I was
Yeah.
like bored researching.
Were your symptoms that bad?
No, they weren't
good.
bad at all. Like I only had a fever the one day right after the vaccine, which
Yeah.
is attributable to the vaccine.
Yeah.
So it was mostly like just persistent coughs and sniffles, and it was annoying.
Like
as
a
shit.
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
cold. Like yeah,
wow.
definitely some exhaustion too. But like
Yeah.
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 We
When I
got
got
COVID.
it, I got
Yeah.
it. Mine sounded kind of like yours.
Yeah.
My cough wasn't actually even that bad, and I think I only noticed it because I couldn't smell anything.
Right. I was
And,
super grateful because apparently Omicron isn't fucking with people's smell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that
My smell's been fucked up ever since I got COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every bad smell to me smells exactly the same.
Yeah.
So Sugar Beet Factory, him pooping, you know what I mean? It's all the same smell. And so I'll say to him like something smells
But are
bad.
the
I have
good
no
smells intact?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay,
It's weird.
all right.
Yeah, every bad smell, exactly the same smell. So I don't know if somebody like shit on the floor or it's the
Yeah.
Sugar Beet Factory.
Every bad
Yeah.
smell is the same,
It's the same.
smell.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's really
God.
weird. So I'm like,
That's a
did
fucking
somebody fart
trip.
or is that the
Yeah.
he was watching.
Yeah. Who's watching?
my Aunt Sue Ellen?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's been messed up this whole time. So
Yeah. Sheesh.
Fucking COVID.
yeah,
I know, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be here forever.
That's what they're shifting towards in the
Yeah.
messaging. They're like, yeah, it's probably gonna just be like this, guys. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I guess the idea is eventually it'll be more like flu season, like, oh, it's
I
COVID
hope
season.
Yeah.
But, you know, so,
So weird.
yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That we are part of it. You know?
Yeah,
saw
it's
the
like a
start of this thing.
movie. You know,
It is.
yeah, really. I mean,
Oh, an
Outbreak.
oddly paced Netflix program.
Yeah,
I think is more accurate.
Yeah. Like, we got another season coming.
You didn't know it was coming.
That first season was crazy as shit, and then it got weirdly like too like regular, like just life. It was just like life,
Yeah.
and then it got all fucking serious again.
Yeah.
So true.
Oddly
Yes.
paced Netflix series. That's what it is.
Did you watch Dexter?
No, no.
You haven't seen any of it?
No, but I have a friend who's told me that I
You
need
must
to.
Oh,
Yeah.
you haven't watched the original? series?
No,
Oh,
no.
it's great. Josh Parch is watching.
Oh shit, Josh!
Yeah.
Me and him used to work in a kitchen.
He said,
together.
"What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, pimp?"
No, yeah. What's up, Josh? Hey, that's.
I got to
fucking
get rid
cool,
of
man.
that.
Yeah.
You can't see the chat.
Oh,
Someone
no
sent
worries.
me
No, that's cool, man. Yeah, me and Josh go way back. And Josh has been sober lately, so shouts out to Josh for being
nice.
sober and shit. Yeah, for real. I am not a sober individual myself, but I support that shit. You know, you got to do what's best for you.
Of course,
you know?
yeah. LJ
So-
is actually drinking something that Mo and Amy from Not Everyone
everybody
Gets... Yeah.
Not everyone gets a trophy
Yeah, who-
podcast.
Okay,
Here.
shit.
They
all
gave
right.
it to us, and
Yeah,
he
no,
likes it.
it's fucking tasty. It's a red blend, and it
Yeah.
was aged in a rum barrel. So it has a really great like spiced wine
nice.
vibe to it. I'm not sure if y'all have ever tried like spiced mulled wine. If you've ever tried that,
No.
it's like a holiday treat in Europe and stuff. It's fucking tasty, and this reminds me of it a little bit.
Oh,
Good.
nice. Yeah, I had
I'm
a
so
taste
glad.
of it. It tastes really good.
Yeah.
You know, if I was more of a wine drinker.
Yeah, and I am a wine drinker, so this is fucking perfect. I'm glad this worked out.
Thank you, Mo.
Yeah, thank you.
So are we talking about our party?
Oh, shit, there's a party to be
No,
had?
the
Oh,
100th episode,
Yeah, you were.
Oh, yeah.
which we meant to tape.
Oh, shit, did that not get taped?
No.
I thought that was getting taped. What happened?
We were no, it never got taped.
Yo,
The one thing,
we all thought that was being taped.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that was being taped. What happened?
it was like the one thing we forgot.
Yeah, to give
Give
Jen
Jen.
a flash drive.
We had
Oh
it.
my God.
We were so nervous.
Yeah.
And so much was going on. We
That was
were
our
talking-
first show, like
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
show.
Like
Yeah.
the one thing. Just
Yeah,
hand
so
her.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean,
Whoever
in a
was
way,
there,
like, if you were there,
it was
you
really
saw
fun.
it.
Yeah,
And,
you were live in person.
Yeah, don't miss it next time.
Yeah,
Show up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy a
because
ticket.
we may
show
not
up.
remember.
Yeah.
To be like, here it is,
Yeah.
Jen. Yeah. Afterwards, we were like, did you? And Chris was like, no. And I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
I didn't
Yeah.
either.
We went from 99 to 101.
Yeah, we skipped 100.
Hey, you know, so that's
Because we were like 100, nope.
yeah, you just got to keep reminding people. So whenever new people find the podcast and are like, "Where's 100?" It's
Yeah,
like,
you had to be
no,
there.
you had to be there, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that was a one-off live lounge at the end of the universe. It
Yeah.
took
fun.
place at the end of the universe. It
Yeah.
makes sense that there's no record of it.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Couldn't escape the gravity
So
well.
funny.
It
We
was,
sang.
It'll
Or
be
some of
talked
us
about
did.
for centuries to come.
yeah, for real.
Yeah. So
Was
that
there
happened.
something specifically about the 100th episode, or just the fact that it
We
didn't
made
get
it.
taped?
Oh no.
That and yeah, we were
That was really fun.
yeah, it was
We had a
fun as
blast,
fuck. And
but-
no, we didn't have anything specific.
No, we were all there.
We are all there. It was a cool thing that happened.
Yeah, it was fun,
no,
yeah.
it was a good
So-
night. It was a really good night.
It was
was
fun.
Um,
We just wanted to get people together that had been on the podcast. You were on Mixed and Misidentified.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
right before we
yeah.
went on
You
stage.
got your hair.
Yeah.
For that cool thing that Chris
yeah.
made.
Oh, that
Yeah.
video, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was
So-
really cool, that show. So let's talk about what do you have coming up? You have shows?
I have a few shows coming
nice.
up. I have a show this weekend and next weekend. Hold on, let me pull the shit up on my phone so I don't get the shit fucked up. But I also have some things like booked and coming up like way in the future. Some things that like I can talk about, some things that I can't. On January 2nd, I'm gonna be at Watson's for Brunch of Laughs.
January
awesome.
2nd?
22nd.
Oh, 22nd.
Oh, okay.
22nd.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Did I say second?
I think so. I thought so.
2-2.
but- Okay,
Two
good.
twos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't
there's
happened yet.
22nd.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be
Watson's.
Watson's. And then the 29th, I'm going to be at Mad Swede, a part of the Boise Comedy Showcase. I just booked a headlining set in April. And I believe that's over at Twisted District.
Where's that?
I actually haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
It's
Yeah, yeah, it's local.
Oh.
It's Nico Lukoff is putting things together over there.
Okay.
So,
What city?
it's in Boise.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure. I'm pretty sure it's in Boise. And yeah, I got the Northwest Black Comedy Festival coming up in February.
cool.
So I'm gonna be out in Portland
nice.
around like the 17th to the 20th.
Nice.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I
Of
got
this month?
17th. February.
Oh, February.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And then I got some things in March materializing. Can't really talk about it. I'm going to be headlining in the beginning of April over at Mad Swede again.
Cool.
I think I got... Yeah, that's everything that's like sort of going on right now. I'm looking to hopefully do some traveling in the spring and the summer. I have some people out in Chicago, and I'd like to make it out there around like 420 possibly.
Yeah.
Have you traveled before? I mean,
yeah. I've actually traveled
gone on
like quite
tours
a few places.
Oh, cool.
I've not traveled for comedy.
Oh.
The furthest I've gone for comedy is the last time I went to Portland.
Oh, okay.
I've done comedy in a few different places in Idaho, but like I've done like Idaho City and like Mountain Home, Nampa, Caldwell, like all of like places around Boise, yeah, mostly just those, and then I've been fortunate enough to get out into Portland and
That's awesome.
and check things out there, and that's what the goal with the travel this spring and summer is, to get out into different cities. I'd like to hit up Vegas, and
I feel
Austin
like
is
Seattle
popping off.
also.
Yeah.
Seattle's cool. Seattle's got a lot of similar energy to Portland, though. So like, I'm
you
trying
wanna
to
switch it
go.
up.
I'm trying to go into like as many different directions as I can. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to go.
Casey Rocket.
Casey motherfucking Rocket.
I know.
He
He's
is out
killing
there
Killing
fucking killing it.
It's
I am so
insane.
proud of that kid.
Yeah.
And
do you see that picture with Red Band?
Oh yeah,
And
oh
opening
yeah,
for Tony
absolutely.
Hinchcliffe?
Opening for Tony and
Like,
shit.
you're
Yeah, no,
so close to
yeah.
Rogan.
Oh, he's right there.
I
He's in
know.
the camp.
It's
He's right there.
unbelievable.
They got to look up some of his old clips where he's talking shit
About Rogan?
He made some jokes. Here's the thing: if you're a comedian in Boise, you can't take Joe Rogan seriously, or they won't let you do shows. Because we all know why. But fucking politics is some a bitch. Like, just comedy is it can be divisive.
Yeah.
So but I'm proud of Casey.
It's
The funny thing is, I've met Red Band too, but he would never remember it.
What?
He would never
really?
fucking remember it. Yeah.
Is that when
Yeah.
Kill Tony came here?
No, it was
Oh.
before. It was right before I got my first ever hosting weekend at Liquid. I was fortunate enough to go on family vacation out to LA, and since I had been doing comedy, we had to stop by the Comedy Store.
course.
Go to the Comedy Store, fantastic fucking lineup. Got to see everybody you would hope would be there was fucking there. It was the shit. I got to see Rogan working on his shit, and like it was this crazy moment of like, I remember this line of thought and this premise from the podcast. He's working it on stage now. And
I
then
wondered
me
that.
and Jeremy went to go see him when he went on tour the following year. And so I saw him do it in a stadium and saw how it had changed and how it had grown.
Yeah.
And then I watched the shit on Netflix and got to see the final full product.
Wow.
So to get to see that full like progression of him working was like, I'm always going to remember that. That was like a unique and awesome thing that I got to experience.
Yeah.
But when we got finished at the Comedy Store, when like the showcase in, I think it was the original room that night, when it got out, I was like, sort of hanging out on the patio hoping to meet somebody, right? But they know that you're there,
They know
and
you're
that's why
looking
they all
for
hang out in the back, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I fucking caught Red Band. I fucking caught Red Band out there, and I introduced myself, and I was like the typical young comedian, like, hey, I'm about to have my first hosting weekend. Like, what advice can you give me? And it's funny, he gave me, like, really, like, now that I've done it a few times, like, I get what he was saying. But, like, thankfully, I was already so excited about it that anything he said couldn't have, like, dashed my hopes. But he was sort of like, hosting's like whatever, man. Like it's like kind of lame. Like just just work on your shit. Like just have fun and like entertain. Just your job is just get get it ready. You're just getting it ready. Fucking short on time. Talk about the fucking weather. I don't know. Like he really didn't care, and I could tell that he didn't care. But it still meant a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that happens. Yeah, like
So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it was really cool to see Casey out there getting
Yeah.
it in Austin, and I think he's gonna be back for the next Comedy Fort. I got into the next
cool.
Comedy Fort,
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm hopefully gonna be able to run into him.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I definitely. There's another comic in town who's thinking about moving it down to Austin. So I don't know if I ever want to make the move down
Really?
there.
Yeah.
It seems like that's where everybody's going.
No, but I
It
feel like
seems
there's still
like
space.
At festivals, they literally have like conversations about like, well, should we go to
Yeah.
New York or should we go to Austin?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I want to go to any of those places because that's where everyone's going to be.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking at like Chicago, Denver, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to go to these like sort of places where it feels like I know that I'm still growing as a comedian and a performer. Like I got like long ways to go before I'm where I want to be.
Yeah.
Like so, it just it doesn't make sense to go where everyone else is at. Like that's a little bit of like maybe too big of a pond, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but on the other hand, I definitely want to visit. I want to be able to go to those places and like hang out for a few weeks and like.
What if he got you a spot at Creek in the Cave?
That would
awesome.
be dope. That would
Yeah.
be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It would just be great to go down and see those rooms and
Yeah.
try it out. And part of the reason that I want to travel is just to get a sense of like regionality. Like, where does my stuff do well? Where does it fall flat? Like, because here in the Northwest, I know that I'm doing fine. I know, I know between Portland and Boise and all the little smaller towns that I've done, like, I've done a lot of rooms that like would probably in the past have been tribble rooms, if you're familiar with that, and like the real small bar room runs that this booker would put together. They're like notorious in the comedy community.
Yeah.
Not notorious, but like maybe infamous is a better term.
Okay.
Like just like any road comic like worth their salt, like cut their teeth on these runs that would get booked, and they were usually in like these small bar rooms in the Pacific Northwest. Like because we're sort of almost notorious for like we don't have a lot of comedy clubs and like the small towns and stuff. It's real rural and like if you show up there you kind of have to fight for attention. Like people are there to drink, they're not there to listen to you mouth off. Like so you got to be like ready for that, you know. And so I feel like coming up in like this region is like really good, but it's also like imperative that I get out into other places and get a sense for like what has people laughing here and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
So do you ever travel to see other comics, like go to shows or?
I definitely try to go to shows and stuff. It's usually when they're in town. Like I've I've been out to LA quite a few times and been to Vegas a few times and seen stand up there and stuff. So
who's your favorite? List of favorites.
I have such a list.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have such a wild list because I've been watching stand up probably longer than a lot of people in my age group. Stand up for a lot of people something they find like later in life. which I didn't realize that. I didn't know
Yeah, that was me. Chris was
I've been
way
watching
earlier, since
I
he was
was
a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching stand-up comedy since I was 3-4 years old.
Wow.
Like, because my mom was a single mother and she worked late, and it's not that I wasn't being supervised, but grandparents go to sleep early. And so I would stay up and wait for her to get home, and one of the only things that was like on TV that late at night at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Comedy Central's opening up the vault and it's showing
Wow.
all types of shit that I probably was way too young to be seeing, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I've seen Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and George Carlin, but I also grew up with Patton Oswalt and like Sarah Silverman, and so there's like I could keep listing names. In Vegas, I got to see Eddie Griffin, and he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got to go to the Comedy Store and see a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
And that was, I've been back since then and saw even more people at the Comedy Store.
It's amazing. They're
So,
like
we've been
I've been lucky enough to see Ron White,
Yeah,
both in concert when he came here and at the Comedy Store.
Oh,
Different
awesome.
vibes,
Yeah,
right? Like,
for sure.
we saw him here.
between him like putting on a big show for everybody and him like just having fun working out at the store. So I've seen, I like, again, Ron White's one that I grew up with, like the whole Blue Collar Comedy Tour, but also the Kings of Comedy. Like, I've been watching stand up long enough to be able to outline for you and like talk about how comedy used to be much more segregated in like the 90s. Like, I remember it being segregated. I remember like feeling weird watching one or the other because I am biracial, like so it's like
You felt weird.
Well, not necessarily weird, just like this is the group, the Blue Collar is the group that like my whole family will get into, right? Kings of Comedy is for me and my mom. Like this, that sort of a division was going on. But so that was a thing, but then over time it sort of become a less and less as just audiences and comedians sort of integrated. There's still sort of a separation for sure. There's still black and white audiences, and they definitely react and behave differently. And there's certain comedians who it seems like some of them, sometimes it's like, I understand why you're playing to this audience. Like, I understand why your audience is made up of who it is. But then there's other times where you see comedians who are just fucking hilarious. And it's like, why are you being relegated to just this one audience? So, it's I've always been watching comedy like from when I was really young to now. Like, that was one of the things that I did during my quarantine. Like, I felt like I hadn't been watching enough stand-up specials because that's why I started doing stand-up, is because I was a stand-up fan and I don't want to lose that. So I watched a bunch of specials in quarantine.
Did you watch?
I watched I had like a whole list of them. One of the ones that I liked the most was Dion Cole Hearted. If y'all haven't seen that one, that's fucking hilarious. And that's another one where like he's definitely way more popular with black audiences, but everybody should be familiar because he's just fucking hilarious. Let's see, I watched fucking Jerry Seinfeld's newest special because he had a new one come out. I was like, let's see what Jerry is talking about. And the interesting thing with him is he's from older school of comedian who doesn't get rid of their material, right? Eddie Griffin's the same way. Where if they have a premise or a subject that they like to talk about, they'll keep talking about it at every show forever because it works and people laugh and it works. But also, what I have noticed in watching them, like from when I was young to seeing them more recently, is it does age. It ages like a wine. Like it
Oh.
changes. It gets more layered.
It's better.
There's different delivery
Okay.
for different nights,
So
and
it's
there's
not a
still
bad thing.
there's still a million different subtleties to it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't keep selling that same album because people would be like, "What the hell?" But for live performances, it seems to work. So it's just an interesting an older way of doing things.
So just kind of adds on to other thoughts that he's already had, and
well, you can also just see how the
broadens it.
thoughts like sort of mature. Like if you watch Seinfeld the show, they're one of the first like opening bits because every episode opens with a bit of his, right? One of them is about how like, this is what we're all out. Congratulations, you're doing the thing. We're out.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what everybody wants. Except really, no, we don't. We don't want that. We want to come out so that we can get the next feeling, which is, I gotta get back. I gotta get out of here. So that premise is in Seinfeld, in a show from the 90s, but it's also in his 2021 special. But in the newest special, he's built on it, and it's become more complex and more interesting, and it's like more meta, and like he's really drilling down on this idea of like how we as human beings don't ever seem to like where we are. Like we can't just be happy where we are. We're constantly trying to move somewhere because if we go there, maybe we'll be happy, but oh nope, we're not. So like, and so it's this interesting exploration that you can tell has matured.
Seen what?
Have we seen his special? I thought we.
Yeah, I think. Well, how new is this one?
Yeah.
It was the 2021, so it's at this point a little dated.
I feel like we didn't look at it with LJ's perspective. We might need to rewatch it.
Another one I watched was Jim Gaffigan. He just put out a new one.
Oh yeah, we watched that.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's very like sort of looking back on the pandemic focused. I feel like through the eyes of this family,
amazing.
man.
How fast he can pump out specials.
Well,
a year?
I mean, and that's what I'm saying is like the new standard for a headlining comedian is like every year, every couple of years.
With 5 children.
Yeah. I don't know how Gaffigan does that shit. But
Right.
So I watched Jim Gaffigan. That one was good. And then Jimmy Carr, which is he's a British comedian.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one. I've seen it.
Yeah, so like very dry delivery, very one-liners, very British comedy, but I fucking love it. Like I think it's hilarious, you know. It's very like shock value but silly at the same time.
Yeah.
And so that one was a good one. And then I started going back and I watched Richard Pryor live in concert. And I still gotta watch Eddie Murphy Raw because that's one that like I saw up late at night as a kid, but I haven't like watched it
Chris
as an
also.
adult.
Yeah, I had to watch it when my parents weren't around.
For sure. Oh, and I watched Dave Chappelle. I watched The Closer. I didn't watch it when everybody was talking about it because again, comedy can be divisive. So I was like, I don't want to get caught up in this conversation right now. I just want to watch it. Exactly. And so I just watched it, and like I get where people are coming from and shit, and it's shitty that like I always feel like I have to excuse my like of Joe Rogan or Dave Chappelle. It's not shitty that I have to do that, but it feels shitty, right? So there's a lot of people who don't like their ideology, right? And so I have to say here now, I also don't agree with all of their ideology, but I'm a separate art from the artist individual. Thriller's the shit. The remix to Ignition is dope as fuck. Like it's, I mean, and as an artist, like, and I feel like every artist feels differently about this, like, how much of the shit that you're creating is even yours, you know? How much is the muse at play? Like, how much are you just an antenna for shit out in the universe, right? Like you're just catching shit and concentrating it. And so that doesn't that what that means is there can be shitty people out there who every once in a while say something fucking profound.
Yeah, of course.
And so you don't want to not get that profound message from the universe just because it came from this shitty person. Right. You want to be able to separate those two things. And so when I watch like a stand-up special of a comedian who maybe has some divisive opinions, I'm like consciously enjoying the art and not being politically indoctrinated.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
you're neutral.
Exactly.
Like, oh, cool.
Like, okay, these are his political opinions and he has made them funny. I'm more interested in how he has made it funny and less interested in whatever political opinions
I feel like that's how we watch.
I feel like you have
because I also I love Patton Oswalt. He recently got into some shit on Instagram because
the Dave Chappelle thing.
With Dave Chappelle because he took a selfie with Dave Chappelle because they came up. That's like if me and Caden bump into each other in the future and we decide to take a selfie. Like, we started comedy at the same time. Like we are in this shit together and we might not always agree with each other, but like we're comedians. But like I knew as soon as I saw Patton post that picture with Dave, I was like, half his fan base is gonna be mad as fuck right now.
And then he
had to post an apology. An apology for posting a picture with his friend.
That he's known for like decades.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like Patton Oswalt, if you listen to his material, he makes off-color fucking jokes all the time. He just dresses them differently, so then like the left is more accepting of it. Like he makes it sound and feel and look different, but is making a lot of similar points. So, but he just is. It's more appealing to the demographic. Exactly. Like so. It's like I said, comedy can be divisive. You know? I'm just trying to tell jokes. I'm just trying to make motherfuckers laugh, and that's how I think every comedian feels. Is like I think so. Just trying to make people laugh. Like
sometimes it super doesn't work.
Sometimes it super doesn't work, and it's also not that deep. Like, I'm not trying to be like a political force. So like I'm not trying to enact change with my jokes. Like I one thing that I watched while I was in quarantine was this thing called The History of Comedy. It's on HBO if you want to check it out. I think it was done by CNN 2016, 2018. There's 2 seasons. And at one point they talked to Dick Gregory before he died, and he was like a civil rights activist and a comedian. And like from an old school of comedian where like you could get thrown into prison for what you were saying. And so he said like I never thought that I was like trying that I would affect political change with some fucking jokes. Like they were separate things for him. They were connected but also separate. Like I can bring ideas to people when I'm making them laugh, but I can't expect to affect like structural change just by telling jokes. That's when you gotta like get out and march and shit. Like everything has a place and a purpose, right? And like so it's just I think comedians can take themselves too seriously sometimes. You know, so I try not to get caught up in that and taking myself too seriously. But then it's difficult because I am an artist and a faux intellectual. So, like, I do like to take some things seriously sometimes. It sounds like a really weird contradiction, like, because this is just a conversation that we're having. So I'm a bit more in, like, serious mode. If you've seen me on stage, it's totally different. It's totally 110% different. And there's a reason for that. So, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's,
I don't know what got me going. I started going.
It was the whatever the hell that
the
is.
3-fingered jack. What does that even mean?
Oh yeah, the 3-fingered jack. See, I thought it was like Jack Daniels or some shit.
Yeah,
but
I thought it was
it's
rum.
Red, it's
I
red
thought it was
wine.
rum as well.
Yeah, it's just been aged in a rum barrel.
Gotcha.
It's fancy as shit.
It's tasty. But,
Was it?
yeah. Oh, do we have a picture? Oh, there we are with Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh
yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
There he is.
That was in
yeah.
San Francisco at Kill Tony.
Did you guys get to talk to him at all, or did you just take the picture?
Yeah, I just took a picture
Just
about
took
a
the
shirt.
I was so nervous.
Yeah. And then we went to the show in when they came to Boise, the one that Nate was on.
Yeah. It frustrates me that they gotta have their guard up. You know?
Yeah.
They can't be like nice and like inviting because they have so many people coming up to them all the time. So it's just, it's frustrating because I was like in the room with Tony, because he walked into Liquid or whatever, but like I'm not gonna walk up and say anything, because like he's like, I can tell he's in Boise, Idaho. He barely wants to fucking be here to begin with. So like I'm not gonna bog him down
And
with
not
bullshit.
a great turnout for the show.
Yeah, and the same thing happened like one time Hannibal Buress was in town, and I think it was actually Jen Adams who brought him over into Liquid for a hot second, and like he was like right there.
Gosh.
And I couldn't bring myself to introduce myself to Hannibal goddamn Buress. He's part of the group of comedians in my mind that was a big part of changing that whole 90s like black comedy, white comedy thing. Yeah. Hannibal Buress is a dude who he plays black rooms because he's black, obviously. But then like a lot of black people aren't like with his cadence and shit. But then he also plays white rooms because his dry humor does really well there. And so he can do both.
All that
does
crossed
both.
through your mind. You're like, there's no way I can talk to him.
No, like I was like, just like he's Hannibal fucking Buress. Like he's one of the funniest motherfuckers out. Like he's worked. Like I'm pretty sure he's written for multiple TV shows. I'm pretty sure he spent some time at SNL. Like he has comedy specials, albums. He's it, man.
Yeah.
like he's it. Yeah. So like I can't
in Broad City.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to annoy him. And this was back when I was like 2 years into comedy.
Totally
I'm not gonna. Maybe now I would have the
I
confidence
hope so.
to talk to a headliner if they showed up in town, right?
Yeah.
But like, only because now I'm a local headliner, right? Like I know what it is to do an hour on stage, so at least there's that. Like I can.
But I'll tell
kind
you what,
of relate on that level.
Like just from like people we've gotten from the lounge that have played there and come on our podcast, people that we were scared to talk to, all of them have been really
cool
awesome.
people. Yeah.
Comics are
like,
usually chill as fuck. Like there's
really
no
awesome
reason
people.
for me to be scared.
Right.
It's just like a starstruck thing. That
I totally
occurs,
understand.
Because like I don't want to bother them, but at the same time,
I kind of do.
At the same time, if I don't bother them, I'm gonna be talking about it 3 years later on a podcast about how I didn't bother them and it's still fucking bothering me. One of us is gonna be bothered here, Hannibal. Either you can get bothered right now, or I'm gonna be bothered in perpetuity.
I know.
like I need you to just be a duck right now. Let it roll off your back so that I don't have to carry this with me.
Exactly. So next time you see
him,
you walk up to him.
Next time, I don't know. I'm trying to go out to Chicago. I think that's where he's at. Him.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of great comics who've come out of Chicago, like him, Matt Bronger, Kyle Kinane.
Yeah.
A lot of really good fucking comedians come out of Chicago.
Andrew Santino from
I think he spent some time out in Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't think he really started to blow up until he got out to L.A.
No, but he claims Chicago.
Yeah. I think he's lived like several different places, but he definitely claims Chicago for sure. He's fucking great in Dave. Have you seen the show Dave about Little Dicky? First of all, have you heard Little Dicky's music?
I don't.
No, I haven't. I've never listened to Little Dicky.
Shit. All right. Well, Little Dicky's fucking hilarious. Do yourself a favor.
Okay.
Later on, when you're more stoned again, definitely look up the song Way Too High by Little Dicky. Okay. And there's a music video, and it's just about him being way too high.
And how does this apply to Dave? That's Little Dicky
is the rapper who then got a TV show called Dave because his real name is Dave.
Okay.
His real name
I've heard
is
Andrew
Dave.
Santino talking about this. He's on the show.
Yeah, he's on the show. He plays Dave's like best friend, manager. Okay. He's one of the best parts of the show. Santino fucking kills it. Like as an actor,
he's really good,
he
right?
is fucking on point. Yeah, and it's funny. Have you seen Atlanta?
No.
Because that's Childish Gambino. That's Donald Glover. And his show came out first. It's also about a rapper. It's also a witty and irreverent show. I think there was some shit
witty
in
and
it.
Irreverent?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Both.
Yes, both. You can have both. You can absolutely have both. And so fucking there was something in the headlines where I think like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover went after them a little bit for that, like, because Dave is just a white version of Atlanta. It's it's like essentially the same. Oh, they're so similar, just in tonality. It's on FX, so I think it's on Hulu.
Oh, Hulu.
Yeah, I think that's a Hulu.
Dave,
joint.
and what was the other one?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Check it out.
I gotta hit the restroom.
Oh, you do? Oh, should we wrap this up?
I don't know.
Oh,
it's up to you,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I definitely was trying to hit the open mic this evening, but I mean, they got me on the list.
Yeah,
they got me in the middle.
What time are you at? 9?
I don't know. Let me.
If it's 9, you're gonna be late.
Yeah. Let's see.
Where are we at? Where's the open mic tonight?
Mad Sweet downtown.
Okay. Nice. Jake Martin said Lil Dicky is hilarious.
Yeah, because it fucking is.
Somehow today, like, I don't know if it was on Facebook, Newsfeed, Google, whatever, I actually saw something about Little Dicky on there.
Yeah, I mean, he's also, like, fucking hilarious in his own right. Like, his music is fucking funny as shit.
Really?
Yeah. When you listen to Way Too High, you'll get it.
And
then just go down the rabbit hole, because he's got a lot of... and, like, when you start listening to his albums, he actually has some, like, fucking good songs. Like, he has a song, I forget what it's called, but he has a song that's like a legit song. Like, he's not really, like, he wanted to make like a serious rap song where like he just goes in lyrically, and he succeeded, and it's hard as shit. Like, it's really good.
So are all of his other songs more like comedy type?
A lot of his songs are very like comedy oriented, but he also has a song that's like real like laid back and slow, and you watch the music video and it's sad as shit. Like, he's got range for sure. Sure he's got range. Yeah.
Nice.
I am absolute, like, I might have to take this bottle home.
If you like it.
Hey. We have always forgotten to do photos.
Oh yeah, we suck at taking photos.
Last night with Jake Martin,
I suck at taking photos too.
We did not take photos. What time's the open mic?
Oh, it's definitely like already begun. I got them. They got me on the list, but like later on. So I asked to see where they're at. on the whole thing. So if I need to like get over that way, hopefully they'll let me know.
Where is it?
It's Mad Sweet.
Dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. It's a little bit of a ways away, but like I could get there quick. I can speed.
We should
Roads
call
might
it.
be icy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's
How
wrap
long?
it up.
Yeah, how long did we put in? What do we got?
I got an hour and 7 minutes. over
Okay,
here.
that's enough for the people.
Plenty.
That's
all
that's
you
the
get.
contractual
Is that all?
obligation.
It's 8:50.
What?
An hour, and so we started that late.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we
No.
start at 7:50 for
we
real?
must have, because it's 8:50
Oh, wow.
now.
No
I thought we-
way.
I don't even
So-
know. I thought we
okay,
started
yeah.
earlier than
I don't
that.
know.
I
We
thought
don't
we
wanna
did
try to
too.
figure it
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll have
knows?
to go through our.
What is time?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So last second plugs. Where are you going to be?
Okay. On the 22nd, I'm going to be at Watson's. On the 29th, I'm going to be at Mad Swede downtown. And in February, the 17th to the 20th, I'm going to be at the Northwest Black Comedy Festival.
Nice, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much
yes.
for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
in the
you. Thanks for
studio.
having me. Yeah,
Wanted
we're going
you
to do
here
it
for
again.
forever.
And
Yes,
Yeah.
we
yeah,
will.
for
this
sure.
is a good time. I
Definitely.
dig the space.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Take
Yeah.
the wine.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Yes,
I'm signing out.
I'm signing off.
I'm Chris Adams.
I'm Wendy Mosher. # get toasted.
Stay toasted.
Boom. And thank you,
Boom.
LJ.
Yes.
And now does it do the thing where it's still recording us for a
Yes.
second?
Yeah, give them
So they can like kind of still hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say anything bad. They're still here.
No, I love that part of the show every time.
When the people are leaving.
Yeah, when they're like, yeah, let's have a normal conversation.